A love story 3,000 years in the making. So I got a good one for you guys today. It's a love story, and it's something that's been on my heart the past 2 to 3 weeks now. And I'm really feeling called to share this with you guys. I'll be honest, I'm nervous about this one, and it feels good. It's like this good nervousness. So I'm out in the woods again. I'm probably 40 foot up in a tree. And asking this oak tree that I'm sitting in, asking it for strength. It's an old one, old wise one, probably in its final years, 3 or 4 years left of its life. And it just feels good to be up here to share the story with you guys. But essentially I want to share this story because I really want to show you guys what's actually possible when you start to do what I'm talking about with this reconnect to nature, ultimately reconnecting to yourself, and getting out of this fight or flight state, this stress state that your body's in, that we've really normalized as a society, like having anxiety, depression, loneliness, stress, having these gut issues, having these sleep issues. It's almost like it's become normalized. But all these things are happening because we're in a constant state of stress, which is why I teach my core fundamentals of wellness with the breathing, the sleeping, the movement, the nutrition, the nature connection, because it's to help you guys and help myself. And what I've learned is how to get out of that fight or flight state, out of that stress state, and into a calmer state. Your nervous system is relaxed. You can actually start to heal your nervous system, expand your nervous system, and this is where life starts to get more interesting. This is where you actually start to become more in control. Your body's not just trying to survive. It has what it needs. It has the nutrition. It has the safety it needs for you to actually start listening to yourself, listening to your inner intuition, listening to Creator, to God, actually getting the messages sent to you, like being able to listen and be like, what is my purpose on this earth? What are my gifts? And actually tuning into that and listening for guidance as well. And that's what this story is really talking about. It's showing you what happens when you start to listen to God. Listen to where Creator is like guiding you. Listening to where does your intuition want to actually take you? Because when we're in that stressed out state, that state of just like trying to survive, we're not able to tune into that. We're cutting that off because that's not important. We just need to survive. So then we're taking the easiest route in life, which is just do what others tell me to do. Follow the path that was set before me by society, by whatever that is. And you may be one of the lucky ones where you're actually following the path you were meant to follow, even without paying attention. You just naturally led yourself into it in some way. But if you're like most people, you're probably feeling a little bit of like lostness, a little bit of like, okay, is this really what life's all about? Like, is this really my job for the rest of my life? Or maybe it's like, what is it I'm supposed to be doing? You have these thoughts. It doesn't feel fulfilling what you're doing. You can't give back to others like you really want to out of your loving heart because you're not able to. You don't know where to do. You don't know where to turn. And I've been in these states. I've been in these lost states, wandering. So I really want to share this story today. A love story 3,000 years in the making. And this is an amazing story because it's really a culmination, I feel like, of all the work I've done in the past 8 years on my physical health, my emotional, mental health, all these things I've taken time to learn, to integrate into my life, make them a part of who I am. And then I am on a brand new path recently, probably in the last 2 years, 1 to 2 years, I would say. I don't know exact timelines anymore. Time, it just meshes together. It does its thing. It just keeps on moving forward. But the thing is probably 1.5 to 2 years ago, I really started getting into this concept because I had my physical health down. I feel like I had my mental health down too. All these good habits, all these good things that were just part of who I am. But there was something I wanted to take to the next level, and I wasn't able to do that until I really started looking at my spiritual life. So the way I look at the body, you have mind, body, spirit. They're all three connected. But you can look at them in their own entities, but they all affect each other. So I had mind and body down, right? I had all this good stuff, but my spiritual life was lacking. I really wasn't focused on it. I wasn't putting much intention into it. So what happened for me is probably 3 years ago. There's a story. I have another podcast about this, and I can link it in the show notes where I go in more detail. But essentially, I was working on a farm in Georgia, and I was sleeping out in the woods on that farm. So I decided to, probably November, I believe, when the weather got good enough I could actually sleep at night out in the woods. I went out into the woods on the farm, middle of the cow pasture, and I decided to set my hammock up there. So I set up a hammock in the middle of the woods, and I pretty much slept there 6 to 7 nights out of the week. Some nights I would be there the whole time. One night a week I would go back to my mom's house. She lived 45 minutes away from the farm, just to do laundry. So yeah, this was probably 3 years ago now, maybe more. But I decided to go there and start staying in the woods. I just felt the call, and I didn't feel the point in driving to work every day. It just felt pointless, and I needed some space just to be with myself and really like start thinking and be clear. So, I'm out in these woods for a while, and come middle of December, January, something like that, I start having dreams. And this is where my spiritual path, starting to focus on this, really gets sparked, because every night for a month, I was having these very vivid dreams where some kind of entity, some kind of spirit was visiting me every single night. So what would happen, I'm laying in my hammock, I think I'm awake. So I think I'm fully awake, but actually I'm dreaming. I'm still asleep, but the hammock looks exactly right. I feel everything. Everything looks exactly the same until this like dark energy, what it feels like dark energy, a dark spirit starts coming towards me, right? And it tries to grab me out of my hammock. And you can imagine someone coming up behind you in a hammock and just like trying to suffocate you and squeeze you. So that was an experience. That was a hell of an experience. Very scary for me. But it kept happening. And it was related to the woods, because when I would go home for that one night in the week, I wouldn't have the dreams anymore. And this really gets into my philosophy and ideas around, like, I think the energy of houses and the electrical grids and the cell phone towers and all these things really cut us off from connection to spirit, connection to God, connection to our higher self, however you want to look at that. It really cuts us off because of this energetic noise, and it puts our nervous system in a state of stress. So anyways, when I'm out in the woods, just no electricity, out in the middle of the woods, this spirit kept visiting me every night for a month. And eventually, after talking to some people and getting some reassurance that I actually ultimately had the power, I was able to let this spirit take me. And once I let it take me, drag me out of the hammock, it flew me up into the canopy of the forest. It turned into a bright light, and it flew me through the forest and plopped me down in front of a movie screen, like a giant teleprompter screen in the middle of the woods. And I still to this day have no idea what was on that screen, but when I woke up, I knew that my purpose and like what it was trying to tell me was like, I'm hiding from what I'm truly meant to do, which is teach. I am meant to teach people. Now, I was very unclear on exactly what I'm meant to teach people. I knew that it was health related, but I had no idea it would lead to what I do now, which is reconnection to nature, your inner power, and being able to connect to that inner power so you can give your gift to the world, so you can actually serve your purpose in a greater capacity. Create the visions that are meant for you in your life. Like claim those things for yourself, and be able to do that so we have a better world for the next 7 generations and beyond, right? So that did not come until later, but I got this, it really sparked this thing. And I was also reading this book at the time about a native elder and this boy who was raised by a Native American indigenous elder, chief. I'm trying to think of his name. Tom Brown Jr. is the name of the child, and then grandfather is what he called the chief. So it was just this like story about Tom Brown Jr. and how like this upbringing in nature and learning to live in it basically, and how to be in it, and how grandfather walked the spirit world and the earthly realm at the same time, and just this connection he had to spirit and creator that was just like helped guide his life and his mission, and him like saving the forest and like protecting the forest that he lived in essentially. So really inspiring stuff while I lived out in those woods. And ultimately it also led me to leaving Georgia, going out to do a 4-day vision fast with the Rising Man. Really powerful stuff. When I went out there, 4 days fasting, 4 nights fasting in the woods. There was 2 months of preparation and 8 days total of camping, and yeah, it was a beautiful experience, and I really walked away knowing what my mission was. Like, that's where spirit really connected with me, and I got a download. And when I say download, it's just I finally got quiet enough and my nervous system relaxed enough, and I was still enough sitting in the woods under an oak tree, that the message finally came through for me after putting the intention that I really like, what is my mission, what is my purpose. And that's where the whole root to nature journeys and my mission comes from. Is what came through to me is a power statement where I state, I'm a man who stands in his own power, rooted in nature, led and guided by the spirit of the lovers, and charged with a mission to lead and inspire a revolution in love and nature reconnection that impacts the next 7 generations and beyond. So, like I said, guys, this is a love story, and I know I've been talking more about my story and getting into the spiritual path, but this is very important to understand where I'm coming from, because it's important to understand how I even got this love story to even happen. Because this love story for me in the physical world now started 3 years ago in those woods when I was just sleeping in the woods for 5 months. I had told myself, like, I'm ready to find the woman that I really want to be with, and I'm ready to be able to work with the masculine and feminine powers within myself to combine them. That's why I say in my power statement about the spirit of the lovers, because the spirit of the lovers is the masculine and feminine coming together in this world to be able to create even more. And this is the power of working on yourself and getting clear, getting your nervous system cleared up, working on your emotional and physical bodies and getting healthy, and then listening. Where are you meant to go in this world? Where are you being guided? Listening to that intuition. So this continues me on my story of, let's see, where was I at? So we have the spirit of the lovers, we have the mission that I got out of Compass, right? So eventually, after Compass, I work on a farm for 1.5 years. I work there. I'm learning a lot about farming. I'm learning a lot about marketing and how to make a business run. And eventually, I get tired there. Like, essentially, something's telling me, like it did on the farm in Georgia, I'm starting to get these messages that, the messages come through frustration, and everything I'm trying to get going is not working, no matter how much effort and energy I put into it. And then I start listening, and I meet a friend who is also on her spiritual path, and she's really listening to her intuition, and she helped me see some things and understand about myself, and was a very loving friend to me. And essentially from her guidance and some other things happening, I decided it was time to leave that job, because it was going nowhere. I wasn't able to expand anymore. I was basically being tied up. Same as a lot. That's what it feels like when it's time for me to leave somewhere. It's like, okay, there's no more room to expand or grow. It's time to go. So I joined an agroforestry group online to learn about syntropic agroforestry, because I'm really passionate about that stuff. And so anyways, I joined that, and I decided to leave my job and go ahead and go to Brazil, because something was just pulling me to Brazil. I didn't know why, I didn't know what, but I still had friends in Brazil I could go visit, so I went to visit them, stay with them for 2 months, and lo and behold, because I decided to go ahead and go to Brazil, while I was there, my syntropic agroforestry group, they randomly had 2 positions open up for a 2-week agroforestry immersion experience happening in Brazil. And if I wouldn't have already been in Brazil, I wouldn't have been able to make it in time or get there or anything. So really powerful experience of listening and things opening up. And then I end up on a farm in Brazil for the next 3 months after that. So after the course, I just stayed at the farm that we ended at, and I was just helping there, living there, eating food off the farm. Amazing experience, right? Eating coconuts every day, papayas, mangoes, bananas, all this cool stuff, right? And living on the beach. And it was an amazing experience for me, and I learned a lot, and it gave me time to just be with myself as well. I once again slept in a hammock outside for 3 months. Incredible experience. Met a lot of amazing people, and during that time I also joined a conscious leadership group called the Way Showers, and that is what ultimately starts spirits leading me closer to this love story I'm talking about, this love story that was 3,000 years in the making. And I promise, guys, I'm going to get to that 3,000 years part because it's freaking epic. And it's going to be good. So what happened is I'm in Way Showers. I'm part of this group. I'm part of the founding members. And essentially what happens is I meet a woman on there. And I'll just go ahead and spoil this part, but she is my partner now, Marena. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and yes, she is the love story. Essentially, me and her making the love story here together these past 6 months. But we meet online, and it just so happens I see her art page. She's a beautiful artist, makes wonderful art, fills up our apartment right now, and our little studio apartment. She filled it up with her art, and it's just really brightened the place, and it's amazing to see her create. But anyways, I saw on her artist page that she lived in Austin, and I was 3 weeks away from coming back to Austin because once again I feel like where I could no longer expand, and the things I was trying to do just were not. I was hitting walls, right? Like there's a point where we work hard to go through things, and there's a point when we're forcing things that aren't meant to happen. So that's where I got to listen again and tune in, and I put myself out there. I listened for the invites, and lo and behold, a man who had also done the 4-day vision fast that I did through Rising Man, I'd posted in that community, and he reached out and was like, hey, we need a land steward out here. We need someone to take care of the land, help with our food forest, our gardens. I was like, hey, yeah, I got all the experience for that. So I come back to Austin because of that. And now I'm like an hour and a half outside of Austin. But that's where I come to meet Marena. The second day I was back in the U.S. after 6 months of being down in Brazil, I come back to Texas. And I meet her the next day. And for 2 days straight, we hang out, probably 8 hours each day. And it's been a love story ever since then. And it's been a big challenge because the reason I believe Spirit led us together is that we were both at a standstill in our growth and our expansion. And this is what I'm talking about, the spirit of the lovers and them coming together and us being able to expand together, right? So now that she's here and we have the feminine and the masculine poles, and we all have these energies within us, but what I'm saying is like we're able to embody each, and we can like bring those energies together, right? So me and her come together as one, as a relationship. You can imagine the relationship has a bubble around us, and we each have our own bubbles, our own like energy fields, but the relationship as a whole has its energy field, and it provides the energy needed to actually be able to expand even more. And if you want the practical, what I'm talking about is she sees things and reflects things back to me that I could not see on my own, and I couldn't see in a men's group either, because when we come together and we start interacting, we start sharing our hearts, we start sharing our stories, well, guess what? Our shadows also come up. The things that want to protect us because of the past traumas we had. Past traumas I had around the heart and love and relationships, and all kinds of stuff comes up. And we get to lovingly show each other what is actually been holding us back from expanding and going even further in our lives, right? So each of us had done all the work we needed to for Spirit to be like, okay, you two are ready to come together now. You've got the physical and mental and the emotional stuff down. You know how to communicate with someone and actually be like wanting to grow together and not like traumatize each other even more with like, you know, like operating from our shadows, from our old past traumas, right? So now we've come together, and yeah, it's been an incredible 6 months with her, a true love story. This is the woman I am going to build a family with, and we're going to continue to create a life together. So it is absolutely incredible, and it's really opening my heart more and more. And something incredible, 3 weeks ago, we were at a retreat on the land I live on. So it was called the Heart Activation. And when I say heart activation, I really mean it activated the heart. Like, that was amazing. That was the name of the retreat. And I can link the community down below if y'all want more info on that, but that'll be in the show notes. So anyways, we're at this heart activation, and we go to this thing together because we're living together right now on the land, and we go to this retreat. And essentially what the retreat led to doing with this heart activation, this heart opening, is by allowing ourselves to once again like get out of our heads, get into our bodies, get still long enough. And with using these plant medicines, we used wachuma, this cactus medicine that the indigenous, I don't know exactly where it comes from, but I know the indigenous of the Americas, they used it. And it's actually a heart opener. So basically, essentially what I was told is it cuts your head off, it gets you out of your mind and all these stories you tell yourself, and it gets you into your heart. So with the help of that, I was able to work through a lot of energetic blocks within my body that are holding me back from fully expressing to Marena how much I actually love her and how much like I actually feel for her. And it also cleared up channels for me to really hear what Spirit and Creator are trying to tell me and messages they have for me. And what they told me and what I gathered from this, and it came through very clearly for me, is that me and Marena in a past life 3,000 years ago came to this earth. 3,000 years ago our souls met, and we have met many lifetimes before to actually like just be together. Our soul's missions, every lifetime we find each other. And this lifetime we found each other again. And it's been 3,000 years since we came back to Earth. It's been 3,000 years that our souls have been up in the stars, and we have, been waiting to come back, waiting for the right opportunity, and now we're here. And I believe we're together because we're supporting each other's missions. We're supporting each other in expanding and reaching people because our missions actually overlap with each other. Our missions are really like, and I can let her share her own mission and stuff, and I don't want to speak for her on this, but my mission, you guys know, is reconnecting people back to their own inner power. And ultimately, to do this, it's like you're going to step more into your natural loving spirit. That's what I talk about, this revolution of love and nature reconnection. And you're going to reconnect to your heart, and you're going to reconnect to your purpose. And when you do that, you reconnect to your gifts. You're reconnecting to your gifts, and you're able to actually give to others, because that's what we need. We need to get back to this culture of being able to give from the heart, giving our gifts, and not being in such this isolated state of everything's out to get us. We have to protect ourselves because we're constantly in a fear state and all these things. So this is a beautiful thing of me and her, our souls coming back to this earth to meet again and be on this mission together to help each other expand and rise in ourselves and expand in our missions and be able to reach people more. Because I wouldn't be sitting here and speaking this message and like, because trust me when I say I have a little bit of fear about sharing even this love story with you guys. Like, what's the retribution of me talking about past lives where me and her were together? And I really don't care what you think, because it feels true to me, and it feels powerful to me, and it really motivates me and expands me in my relationship with her. And even if it's not true, it doesn't matter, because I feel it's true. I feel it's true, and it helps me empowers me to love this woman even more. Like, knowing that every lifetime that we've been to this earth, we have found each other. Our souls have come together on a mission to help one another. And that is just absolutely amazing. So that's what I mean, a love story 3,000 years in the making, because we've done this before. We've just been waiting in the stars to come back at the right time in Earth. And I honestly believe this is the perfect timing to come back to Earth because of what's going on now. Like, I've talked about it in previous episodes. You look around, how much, like, love you don't see. How much hate, how much, like, fear, how much scarcity there is that we've created. And I'm here to tell you that, like, it's not easy. It's a challenge, I promise you, but it's also an opportunity that I'm presenting to people. To getting back to nature is getting back to you. Is getting back to your wild humanness. Who are you as a human? How do you move as a human? How do you eat as a human? How do you connect with nature as a human? How do you connect with God as a human, right? All these things. We are spiritual, physical, mental beings, all three. And it's a lot. We weren't taught how to actually take care of these things in the proper way, like how to connect with our body fully, how to connect with God in like this powerful way, and actually tap into our gifts, tap into the guidance, our higher selves, our intuitions, all these things, right? And it can sound like a lot when I'm talking about this, but this is why I've built these courses. I've built these like easy steps to take to actually start building your physical health, which leads to you being more open, like your nervous system, and being able to be relaxed and actually start to listen, be able to be still, stop moving so much. It's like these cities, like we are a direct representation of our cities, which are always buzzing, lights are always on, there's always noise, there's never stillness, and it's go, go, go. And the humans that created it are the same thing. Like, it's vice versa. We're all connected in this thing. So go out to a country and a country house, like the South, like somewhere way out in the country, out in the woods, whatever, a farm. You get these people that are a lot slower. Things are going a lot slower. They're not so worried about go, go, go. And that's just a simple representation of like getting away from the city, getting away from these things and slowing down and getting out in nature, what it can actually do for you. So yeah, that's my story, guys. 3,000 years in the making, and I really honestly show you that and share with you because I want you to understand what's possible for yourself. What is possible when you decide to slow down, to start working on your physical health, to start working on your mental health, your emotional health. And maybe you are already working on that, and maybe you're frustrated because it's not going anywhere. Or maybe you've done a lot of work and you want to take it to the next level. You want to actually like really be clear on your purpose in this life, where you're headed. And these are the things I can help you with: your physical health, your mental health, getting clear on these things, being able to tap into these things, helping with the emotional body, healing that. So yeah, that's what I offer with my coaching. That's what I offer with the courses and workshops I have. And coming soon, we're going to be also doing stuff out at Haven. I don't want to give too many details because we haven't even made the info page yet. But yeah, coming this year, we want to do a 24-hour fast out in the woods for men, where it's ultimately you get some coaching beforehand to get you prepared and get you focused on what you want to get out of the experience, and really connecting with yourself out in the woods for 24 hours, no food, no shelter, just you, the land, hanging out and being still, being quiet, getting away from the city, being surrounded by trees and nature, and really getting quiet with yourself and seeing what comes through. And it's an experience to really see and feel what I'm talking about, because you can listen to my podcast all day. You can listen to what I'm talking about. You can see me live my life. But until you actually feel it, you won't understand what I'm talking about. And until you feel it, you really aren't going to be bought in. You aren't going to want to do it. So you need to start feeling it. And I'll end this message because if you guys are interested in the 24-hour fast thing, you can message me, comment below, and I can put you on a wait list for when we actually get the info out there. Because I'm really excited for that one, and I'm going to be teaching and guiding along with Joe out here, the guy leading Haven out here, and the one who started everything out on this land. But what I do want to offer you guys for now, as always, is if you want to start feeling what I'm talking about, get out of the city, or if you can't get out of the city, at least go to a park, go somewhere with a patch of grass, a tree, sit under it, be barefoot, sit there for 15 minutes and just breathe. Close your eyes if you need, wear earplugs if you need, if it's a busy, noisy city. If you can get out of the city and go out into the woods somewhere and just sit in a nature trail, something. Just sit 15 minutes, 5 minutes if you're really feeling anxious and you don't feel like you can do the full 15. 15 minutes and see how your energy shifts. Just take long, deep breaths, be with yourself. It's amazing how many people are never just with themselves, never just quiet. I remember a client saying, yeah, I have alone time all the time. And I was like, well, what are you doing? I'm on YouTube. I'm like, how often do you just sit, just quiet, and allow yourself to listen and just be? And he's like, oh, wow, yeah, never. And it's powerful with just a little bit of meditation, or a little bit of, you don't even have to call it meditation, just sitting and being quiet can do for you out in nature. So that's what I got for you guys today. If you're interested in what I got coming up, any of my coaching, my 3-month containers, workshops on nature connection, breathing, sleeping, nutrition, all these things, just drop a comment below. Anything that inspired you in this, or you can DM me, message me, email me, any of these things, because I really want to have a conversation with you first before you buy anything from me or invest in any of my courses or my coaching, because I need to know if it's right for you, and I want to make sure you get the help that you deserve, because we all are here to help one another, and I want to make sure you get the help you absolutely need. And if that's me, I can offer it to you, and if that's someone I know or a direction I can point you in, I want to point you in it, because we need every human in this world to start waking up to their inner power, their own gifts, and realizing that they have control and sovereignty over their health, their body, their financial freedom, their visions, their purpose. You have the power over all of these things. You have the power to know what you were sent here in this world to do. You have the power to know who you truly are as a spiritual, physical, and mental being. So until then, I will be looking forward to reaching out to whoever wants to reach out and connect. And other than that, I will see you guys next week for my next recording, next audio note. So much love to you, and yeah, until then, guys, peace out.